Hello and welcome to the Players Lounge this Friday. David Short and Ben Pamati with you. Very good afternoon, Benno.
Good afternoon to you, Shorty. And round 10 kicks off this evening with the D's up against the Blues from the MCG. Pretty good money here for Carlton. They touched as much as $1.20 in the head-to-head betting during the week. That price gone, Shorty. They're into $1.15 now. The Blues have eased, the D's have eased, I should say, from $4.40 out to $5.25. Largely unwanted. I think Carlton can win this game, Shorty, and bounce back into the winner's circle. I'm going to take them in the win margin market, 10 goals to win by 20 to 39 points. That price there, $3.60.
Yeah, look, I think the Blues will get a hold of the D's. They haven't been that good this season, Melbourne. I think Carlton on the flip side have been very good. Minus 31.5 the line on this game. I think the Blues will cover it. 32 points or more at the 190. Kicks off my multis for this weekend. On to the next game. North Melbourne taking on Sydney. For me, one of the trickier games of the weekend.
Indeed it is. And Norths have got a pretty ordinary record against the Swans in recent times, having lost the last four. But there's been plenty of money for them to buck that trend this week. They're $2.14 into $2.08. Sydney have eased from $1.69 out to $1.73. Very tough game, this one, Shorty. I'm just leaning towards the Swans and happy enough to take them straight out at that $1.73.
Okay, this is a game I'm going to dodge. I just don't like the game. If I am to have a bet, it may well be the game total when that market opens up. I'll take the under. They're both fairly defensive sides. I'm more than happy. Any game Sydney are in, look at the under there. On to the next game. Fremantle at $1.55 taking on the Saints. $2.42. Believe Freo have been pretty easy though, Ben.
They have. Of course, when the news filtered through that Sandilands would be out for a month, had enormous ramifications on the market because Freo opened at $1.41, Shorty. So, as you mentioned, they're now out to $1.55. St Kilda have shortened in from the $2.85. I think this might be a pretty closely contested game, and for that reason, Shorty, I'm going to go to the try bet. Either team under 15.5 points. That's paying $2.85 at the moment, so perhaps hedging my bets a little bit there.
Well, I'm not. I'm very keen here, Fremantle. I think I do, but I'm entitled to. I think they've been very good with all the injuries they've had. No Sandilands normally an issue, but Blake in the ruck for St Kilda, I think Griffin can just about match him. If that's a chop out, Freo around the ground going much better. At the line, minus 9.5 to win by 10 or more. Inking them into all of my multis this weekend, Benno. Very keen the Dockers to be prevailing by 10 points or more. I think that's very safe this weekend. Go you Dockers.
Very strong push from the number one ticket holder. Up to Metricon Stadium, a new name in AFL this week. It is, of course, the home of the Gold Coast. They played their first match there. They run into the all-conquering Cats. Very tough assignment, you would have thought. $1.02 the price for Geelong, but we opened them $1.03, that's been taken. So 50 to 1 on in the old language. If you like Gold Coast in what would be a monstrous upset, $12.50 the current price.
Save your money, punters. Just get involved here. The Cats to put on a football clinic. They are unbeaten. They've been the form side of the competition. They're coming off two really tough games, which I think they'll really absolutely cherish and relish the drop in class for a game like this. Minus 90.5 is where I'm chiming in here. The pick your own line to win by 91 points or more. $3.35. Just go back and do a little bit of history on how big the margins have been against the Gold Coast by some sides that are nowhere near as good as Geelong. I think the Cats will maul the Suns this weekend. $3.35 looks very nice value in this match.
No, I agree they should be very, very hard to beat the Cats, Shorty, but I'm going a little bit more conservatively. I'm just going to take Geelong 40 plus as a leg of a multi, so just $1.27 there.
Oh, very conservative, Benno, this weekend.
Bit of protecting, Shorty, bit of protecting.
I'm going to go all out here. I think the Cats will just maul them. Richmond 121 take on Port Adelaide 425. Just going at the moment, the Power. Richmond on the flip side won 4 of their last 5 games. The Tigers are going along very nicely.
Indeed they are. Very good game of footy last week against Essendon Dreamtime at the G. A little bit of support for Port Adelaide here as the outsider. $4.70 into the $4.25 currently. Richmond now at $1.21. Look, I find this game a little bit tough to assess, Shorty. I think Richmond will be winning, but exotics have been the news of the week in the AFL, and that's where we're heading for our tip here, Shorty. We're going to take Tyrone Vickery, most goals in the game for the Tigers. He's at $15 at the moment, so I think that's a little bit overs there for the big fella.
Okay, Vickery to overhaul Jack Rewald. Look, I'm taking Richmond in the try bet to win by 16 plus at the $1.47. On to the Adelaide-Brisbane game. Adelaide, very good for most of the game last week against Collingwood. Brisbane, of course, coming off their first win of the year.
Yeah, interesting little game here. Probably short enough, the Crows now. They're $1.20 $1.24. They have firmed from $1.27. Not too much support for Brisbane at this stage. They're out to $3.95. I'm going to have a little spec bet here at the Lions to upset the Crows, Short. Do you think this market's just got a touch wide in the last couple of days and could do worse than having something small? Straight out Brisbane, $3.95.
Okay, I'm going to take the Crows to win under 39.5. I don't think the game will be a smacking, but I'm thinking Adelaide somewhere between 20 and 30. 205 I'll ink in for that match. The next game, there's been plenty of media hype surrounding it. Collingwood taking on West Coast.
95% of our head-to-head hold on this match to date, all on West Coast as the outsider. So a pretty lopsided book. As a result, the Eagles, they've shortened from $5.25 into $4.55. Expect that price to go off even further as we get closer to bounce down. Collingwood now $1.19. Look, I think the Pies can win this game. It's a statement game for them. Worsfold v Malthouse or vice versa. And I think Collingwood will cover the line eventually, which is 32.5 points. You can get $1.90 about that at the moment.
Okay, look, I'm going to take West Coast with a big head start here, plus 48.5. That's to either win or get within 8 goals of Collingwood, $1.37. Thought that was a very good quote for a side that have been very competitive in every game they've played this year. West Coast fans, if you think they can either win or get within 8 goals, take some of that 137. We'll round it out with the Western Bulldogs taking on Hawthorn. Weren't the doggies nice and ordinary here at Subi last week, Benno?
I think disgraceful is the only word for it, Shorty, and Rocket will be giving them the rocket this week, no doubt. Whether it's enough remains to be seen. The money's for the Hawks, $1.33 into $1.29, $3.50 the quote now if you think the doggies can avenge their defeat last week at the hands of the Eagles. I think the Hawks will be too good here personally, Shorty, but the margin is the interesting factor about the game. I'm going to stick with the Hawks under 39.5 at the $2.07.
This could be anything. I think the Hawks will win, and I've got no idea about the margin. Will the Dogs respond? We'll find out Sunday afternoon. I just think the Hawks will be too classy though for them around the park. I'll have all my multis running into the Hawks. I won't worry about the margin. Just go and win, you Hawkies. Let's round it out. The value multi for the week, Benno. Fremantle at the minus 9.5 for me is kicking off my multi. I'm going with the Cats at the Bigs. Minus 90.5 to win by 91 or more. They will dead set touch up Gold Coast this weekend, and the Hawks just to be winning $8.21 punters.
Very
you can get a couple of little gold coins
nice
out of the purse this weekend and turn it into some serious notage.
I'll be having a little piece of that, I think, Shorty. That doesn't sound too bad at the 7 to 1. I'm going to be very short and sweet this week. Geelong 40 plus into Collingwood at the line, minus 32.5. So the all-up price there, $2.41.
And this is where we turn into David Copperfield, our trick of the week. My trick of the week, I'm going to stick with Buddy Franklin. First goal.
Oh, you like the boudoir.
Oh, he's been on fire, the big man up front for the Hawks, and I can't see any reason why it won't continue. He's got an uncanny knack of kicking the first goal of the game. You'll get around the $6.40 mark, ink it in, and get heavily involved this weekend, punters.
I'm going to hold on to your coattails, Shorty, and tip a first goal scorer as well in tonight's game. I'm going to go with Bryce Gibbs from Carlton to kick the opening sausage of the match. He's $23 at the moment. Goodness. Does play forward on occasion. I think he might be a touch of value.
$23. There you have it, punters. That's the Players Lounge. We'll be with you each and every Friday. Join us again next week.